All right, let's dive right into this décryptage. Welcome, everyone. Today we're taking a really fascinating look at the monumental evolution of the FIFA World Cup. But we aren't just looking at the passion or the prestige of the event, you know? We're actually cracking open the tactical playbook. From its inception back in 1930 all the way to this sprawling, unprecedented landscape we're about to see in 2026, we are tracking the evolution of winning tactics. Because let's be honest, the World Cup is the ultimate proving ground for football philosophy. We're going to explore how brilliant minds and iconic teams literally engineered their paths to glory over the last century. So if you've ever wondered how the tactical genius of the beautiful game is shifted over time to crown its champions, you are absolutely in the right place. The ultimate summit of international football. I mean, it's a pretty powerful, definitive statement, isn't it? Since 1930, this tournament hasn't just been a series of standard matches, it has been the undeniable, absolute pinnacle of the sport. Every single nation that steps onto that pitch is battling for the most coveted trophy in history. But actually reaching that summit, that requires way more than just raw talent. It demands tactical revolution. Just think about the gritty, physical dominance of that 1930 Uruguay squad who first conquered the mountain. Now compare that to the flawless, calculated precision of modern European giants executing those incredibly complex possession systems, like tiki-taka. The prestige we're talking about here is immense, for sure, but what truly separates the contenders from the legendary winners is that ability to outthink, outmaneuver, and strategically break down the opposition on the biggest stage imaginable. And you can really see how that legacy of innovation has flowed through time. From that single starting point in 1930, this powerful rhythm was established, basically forcing the whole world to hit the pause button every 4 years. But right beneath that steady rhythm lies a radical evolution in how the game is actually won. Back in the early days, tactics were heavily skewed toward all-out attack. I mean, teams often rolled out these hyper-aggressive 2-3-5 formations, essentially just throwing 5 forwards directly at the defense. Fast forward through the eras, and we start seeing the birth of defensive masterclasses, right? Like Italy's suffocating catenaccio in the 1960s, which was specifically designed to neutralize those old attacking philosophies. And then came the breathtaking fluidity of the Netherlands' total football in the 70s, that fundamentally changed spatial awareness on the pitch. Today, modern cycles are all about complex, high-pressing systems and data-driven formations. So what we're looking at here is quite literally the timeline of football's tactical maturation.
But here's where it gets crazy. That evolution is about to be tested on a historic, truly unprecedented scale. 48. That is the staggering number of teams entering the fray for the 2026 edition. This is not just a logistical milestone, guys. It is a massive tactical disruptor. An expanded competition means vastly increased global representation, and with that comes a fascinating clash of regional playstyles that we just rarely get to see on this kind of scale. We're going to witness traditional European possession-based teams running headfirst into lightning-fast counterattacking squads from emerging football nations in Africa or Asia. Managers are going to be staring down entirely unfamiliar defensive blocks and attacking rhythms. Preparing for this tournament won't just be about knowing your traditional rivals anymore. It's going to require incredibly versatile tactical philosophies just to survive a gauntlet of 48 highly unique, highly motivated nations.
And the complexity of this new era? It doesn't stop at the number of teams. To accommodate this massive expansion, the tournament is spreading across the sprawling physical geography of Canada, Mexico, and the United States. This continent-spanning setup pushes structural boundaries like never before, but more importantly, it introduces a terrifying new variable for tactical planners: the environment. Just imagine the sheer physiological toll on a squad. A manager might have to deploy this high-energy pressing tactic in the suffocating humidity of Miami, and then, literally just days later, adapt their entire game plan to survive the exhausting thin air of high-altitude stadiums in Mexico City. Winning tactics in this upcoming era won't just be about formation. They're going to be heavily dictated by squad rotation, sport science, and the ability to adapt your playstyle to wildly fluctuating climates and brutal travel schedules.
Ultimately, though, all of this meticulous preparation, the exhausting travel, the endless tactical maneuvering, it all boils down to two heavily contrasting emotional extremes: pure magic and heartbreak. Because for every iconic winner who executes a flawless game plan, there is a legendary collapse. Think of the pure magic of Brazil's 1970 squad, arguably the greatest team ever assembled. It all culminated in Carlos Alberto's thundering team goal that just perfectly encapsulated their irresistible flowing tactics. It was a tactical masterclass turned into undeniable art. But then, on the flip side, consider the shattering heartbreak of the mighty Magyars. This was the heavily favored Hungarian team of 1954 who totally revolutionized the game with fluid positioning, only to dramatically collapse in the final against West Germany. Or, Roberto Baggio's infamous missed penalty in 1994. History is written on the pitch through these highest highs of strategic triumph and the very lowest lows of tactical despair. So, that brings us directly to the ultimate unknown. As we look ahead to that massively expanded, continent-spanning gauntlet in 2026, who is actually going to rise to the summit? And maybe the better question is, what brand new tactical innovation is it going to take to conquer a 48-team tournament? Are we going to see the resurgence of a classic style adapted for the modern era? Or will a completely unprecedented tactical philosophy emerge from the grueling environmental demands of North America? The legacy of the beautiful game is out there, just waiting for a brilliant mind to claim it. Thank you so much for joining me for this décryptage. I really hope this journey through a century of footballing evolution leaves you just as eager as I am to witness exactly what winning tactics will define the next incredible chapter on the pitch.